Ryan Garcia is known since he was a kid that he was special, and everybody around him knows that he's special.
We started at age 7. He wanted to achieve these goals where he could beat up a championship boxer like Luke Campbell, who was a gold medalist, and that's a kid's dream.
You're never gonna be at your best, ever, but you're always striving to get there. Right now, Ryan, he's at that stage where he's climbing the ladder and he's almost there to the top.
He could have taken lots of other fights, made millions of dollars with lesser opponents, and people would come out to see him. But he feels that he's the best. You have to fight the best and prove it.
I was willing to put myself on the line for the sport to get the respect that I feel I deserve. So I did everything I could to make it happen, and I didn't take no for an answer.
This is a mega fight. The 2 best fighters in their division. This is what you do when you believe in yourself. This is what you do when you've worked your whole life for something.
I think this fight is the biggest fight of our era, maybe it's fight of the decade, just because of the magnitude. We never get to see the best against the best. We never get to see 2 undefeated. Usually we see mismatches, and I can tell you who's going to win. Because every fighter likes to calculate, I don't want to lose my hope. They're willing to risk it all.
With just days remaining, Ryan Garcia's closing stretch of training has taken on an almost experimental intensity. Like a high-performance lab fine-tuning every last detail ahead of the Barrios showdown. The atmosphere appears calculated and methodical, each drill executed with sharp focus and purpose. There's a chilling precision to it all, as if every movement is designed to build the most dangerous version of himself possible before fight night.
Guys, we're here at TNT facility with my strength and conditioning coach, Cipriano, also known as Sip, also known as Uncle. I could keep going all day, but today I'm gonna go in with you guys through my strength and conditioning workout. You're gonna see what helps me with my speed and my power. Obviously, God gifted. Thank the Lord all day long for my power and speed. So fast, use it for good, but then when I fight, I have to knock somebody out. But Sip helps strengthen it, got sharpen the tools. So you're gonna see how I do it today. Let's get it.
Today's our cardio day, baby. So stuff that we're doing today is not traditional, right? We're gonna be moving fast. We got 10 rounds, we got 30 seconds, simulating a 3-minute round with a minute break in between. Y'all better stop playing and get ready. All right, so here we go. Our first workout on this 10 rounds. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get down low, we're gonna explode, right? Which is gonna work that serratus muscle. So when Ryan takes his shot, everything is coming through here, and it's also the big boxer muscle. There it is. That's what we do. Damn, only halfway. You already did 100 of them. There you go. Come on. Let's go, nephew. You get it.
When you look at the training footage, what stands out most is the silence. There's no chaos, no distractions, just the sharp, metallic thud of gloves snapping against the mitts. The rhythm is steady, mechanical. Between combinations, you can hear Ryan's voice cut through the stillness, repeating his promise to win at any cost. It doesn't feel like hype or performance. It feels intentional, like he's programming his mindset, locking in every detail before stepping into the ring.
5th workout, once again, a low impact on the body. So now we're going fast. Keep hitting them halfway. We're doing it quick. Once again, get that heart rate up. There we go. Good. Get them moving. Stay on point. Great job. Come on, baby. 10 seconds. Come on. Got this. Come on, don't work like you. Let's get this, baby. 5 seconds. Push that. Come on. There we go. Look at that. Woo!
When he openly says, "I was drinking, I was partying, I let bad habits take over," it doesn't sound like the typical fighter's excuse or polished media answer. It comes across as brutally honest, like a public self-evaluation with no filters. Instead of deflecting blame, he owns the mistakes. And that kind of admission doesn't create excuses. It eliminates them. It sets a standard he now has to live up to.
The circumstances are much different, after that year of suspension, it was much different circumstances. I was coming off of suspension, and during that suspension, I was drinking and partying and doing whatever I want for all the way through until they told me that I had to fight. My instincts told me not to. My body wasn't well, it had a lot of toxins in it, as you can imagine. A lot of stupid that I did. But you know, when you have a lot of people in your ear and people are telling you can make $5 million, it's an easy fight, and you know, but you know internally that it's not the right decision, and I didn't trust my heart and didn't trust my instincts.
As I watch and listen, it hits differently. This is the same fighter many labeled unfocused, now openly admitting he knew the Rolly fight wasn't the right move. Every day in camp, he felt it, his body dragging, his instincts warning him. And now, in this training cycle, he's methodically cutting away those mistakes, refining himself with surgical precision to make sure they don't follow him into the next fight.
Next workout here, a little bit modified reverse crunch. All right, we're gonna come up. Really focusing on getting that core, getting them abs way down in the spine. There it is. Going. Like I said, one of the biggest things for us is keeping his abs on point, keeping his core on point. Woo, look at that. Most importantly, having that stability that he needs for them legs and torso working together. Come on. Good.
If this meticulously honed, lab-tested version of Ryan steps into the ring, the fight stops being a show and becomes a calculated mission. Headlines fade away, leaving just the fighter and the laws of physics at work. This is real, high-stakes precision. And if you're placing bets, place them on skill and accuracy, not drama or personality. That same eerie, lab-like silence in Ryan's camp makes Barrios' energy feel completely different. On one side, you've got raw intention being projected with every strike. On the other, quiet, methodical refinement of execution. When Barrios admits he's already burned out on the motivational hype and just wants to show the results of the work he and Coach Joe have put in, it reveals a different kind of champion. One who's moved past speeches and pep talks and now relies on disciplined routine. That kind of calm, consistent focus can be far more dangerous than any emotional outburst.
You know, with all that experience, you know, that's why I'm taking it into this fight. You know, I've been in there, like I said, you know, with Tank, who's very explosive, very quick. With Pacquiao, very awkward, like I said, one of a kind. Thurman, who's a great movement, you know, a big puncher. So yeah, you know, I'm looking to just use everything that has got me to this point.
Then Barrios casually explains, bringing Coach Joe into the conversation, that it's all about returning to the fundamentals that got him to this point. The message is clear. This isn't about reinventing himself. It's about refinement. And for a seasoned, durable welterweight, that kind of precise adjustment is quietly intimidating. When Barrios says he wants to stay uncomfortable to keep growing, it hits differently, because that mindset perfectly counters a fighter like Ryan, who thrives on rhythm and momentum. He even admits that Ryan's unpredictability is what makes him so dangerous. And that acknowledgement isn't fear, it's calculated, cold respect.
He has said it himself, right? You never know what you're gonna get from him. I also think, you know, that's what makes him, you know, a very dangerous opponent. And, you know, I'm not taking this fight lightly, you know, regardless of everything, you know, I might see on social media, you know, everything people might tag me in. This is definitely a fight for both of us, you know, where, yeah, man, like I can't and I don't want, you know, another loss. And, you know, same for him, you know, so there is a lot riding on this. It's not something that I don't think he's taking like.
But the line that sticks is when Barrios says he wants to make Ryan uncomfortable and test just how badly he wants it in the ring. This isn't trash talk, it's a tactical mission statement. Pressure, presence, size, and patience are all embedded in that single sentence. I also love how he shrugs off the theatrics, calling them amusing but irrelevant. That tells you he's not reacting to Ryan's persona. He's preparing to face the man himself. When he talks about showcasing ring IQ and using his experience to control the fight, that's true champion psychology, commanding the moment instead of chasing it. At the same time, he openly admits he's expecting the best version of Ryan, a disciplined, focused fighter. There's no underestimation, no emotional distractions, just pure execution. Quiet in demeanor but loud in intention, Barrios embodies a contrast that creates dangerously compelling chemistry with Ryan.
I'm not sure, but like I said, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna just just test him in every way that I can. Whether it's pressure, whether it's just that presence, and then just just letting him know you're like that. It's not gonna be
That quiet, calculated mindset from Barrios becomes even more compelling when Robert Garcia steps in and essentially calls Ryan a walking question mark. And honestly, that line lands like a psychological uppercut because it's not a knock on his talent. Robert makes it clear, if Ryan shows up in peak condition with perfect preparation, he has the power to knock Barrios out. It's elite-level respect wrapped in cautious skepticism. But he quickly flips the narrative, reminding everyone how Ryan can look unstoppable one night and off the next. That inconsistency is exactly what makes this fight feel volatile, unpredictable, and far more intriguing than the straightforward matchup.
Ryan is one of those kids that we don't know. If he comes out and has that great training camp and great preparation, is in great shape, he could go out and win by knockout, but we don't know.
One version of Ryan is a highlight reel waiting to happen. The other is a fighter who thrives on disrupting rhythm. When Robert Garcia starts analyzing the trainer shuffle and the return to his father, it's not idle gossip. It's a seasoned coach breaking down structure and accountability. He even drops subtle observations like, is he calling the shots now? Suddenly, the dynamics of the camp itself become part of the fight story, not just what happens in the ring. At the same time, Robert openly admits he's rooting for Ryan because of his star power and potential to become a marquee face for boxing. A fascinating mix of critique and encouragement happening all at once.
Short, there's fights where he looks sensational, but next fight he doesn't. And that just happened with Haney, and then the next fight against Rollis didn't look too good. So we don't know what we're gonna see with Ryan. I hope to, I like Ryan. He's a great dude, Southern California, great kid.
Then the real strategic element emerges. Joe Goosen working with Barrios. Robert Garcia points out that this could give Barrios an edge, since Goosen knows Ryan intimately, a perspective fans often miss while fixating on highlight reels. Yet Robert keeps returning to the same explosive reality. If Ryan lands a clean shot, the fight can change in an instant. But if Barrios manages the pace, stays patient, and fights intelligently, the unpredictable fighter suddenly becomes the one under pressure. It's a clash of unpredictability versus experience. This isn't just another matchup, it's controlled chaos, waiting for the slightest spark to ignite.
With Goosen, and that could favor Barrios a lot because Goosen knows Ryan. So it's interesting. If Ryan lands, he's so fast and so strong that if he lands, he's gonna hurt him and finish him and become champion and all the love for him and credit for him. But if he doesn't, and if Barrios fights smart, Goosen knows, takes it to the later rounds, Ryan might be in trouble. It's gonna be an interesting fight. Interesting.
That wildcard Ryan idea Robert Garcia mentioned gets even sharper when Greg Hackett weighs in, essentially saying, I'm not sure I can fully trust Ryan Garcia. And this isn't framed as criticism. It's framed like a calculated risk assessment. Listening to that, it's clear. The concern isn't about talent. It's about reliability under pressure, a far more serious factor in a championship-style setting. Hackett points to the Raleigh fight, noting moments where Ryan exhibited self-doubt. Suddenly, the conversation shifts from speed and power to mindset stability, which changes the entire lens through which you view the matchup. But he also balances it out, calling Barrios inconsistent as well, highlighting moments where he could press, box, or fight, and doesn't. That tension, that quiet paradox between these two fighters, is exactly what makes this matchup so intriguing.
We see Ryan in the ring with somebody his height. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're looking at a real boxing match. Could he overwhelm Barrios? Yeah, but where is he mentally? Ryan Garcia has been spending time with YouTubers and streamers like that. He ain't really been training. So what type of Ryan are we getting? I mean, are we going to get the front runner Ryan who go in there and try his best for 2-3 rounds and then for the rest of the fight? Or is we going to get a focused Ryan that's really trying to go in there and do?
One fighter is unpredictable emotionally, the other unpredictable tactically. Hackett keeps circling back to conditioning, composure, and consistency, ultimately giving Barrios the edge in staying sharp and calm. A perfect match with the quiet, controlled energy that's dominated his camp. When he predicts a decision win for Barrios, yet admits that a Ryan knockout wouldn't be surprising, it captures the contradiction at the heart of this fight. You can't fully trust Ryan, but you also can't underestimate his explosiveness. Hackett also highlights the too much going on factor, lifestyle distractions, external chaos, and the noise surrounding both fighters. Whether you agree or not, that narrative keeps popping up from multiple voices. It shows that the real question isn't who's more talented, it's which version of Ryan shows up on fight night, and who remains composed when it counts. That's where the tension really lives.
I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think the height plays a major part. I think the jab of Barrios plays a major part if he apply that jab. But Ryan got to show more than the left hook. At the same time, Ryan can punch. Barrios, if he turned on, then he looked good, like he did against the Cuban boy. I forgot his name, but that was a great night for him. You know what I mean? So we can get that Barrios, or we can get the Barrios.
Step back and look at all the layers together, and this fight stops feeling like hype versus champion. It becomes a battle of discipline versus certainty under pressure. On one side, you have a meticulously rebuilt Ryan, someone who has confronted past chaos, stripped away excuses, and recalibrated body, mind, and identity. He's a fighter humbled and rebuilt from the ground up, not just patched together on the surface. On the other side, there's a composed, methodical champion in Barrios. He's not reacting to noise. He's not caught up in personalities. He's quietly preparing to test heart, comfort, and composure over entire rounds, not just single moments. Layer and Robert Garcia calling Ryan a wild card, and Hackett questioning his trustworthiness and stability. And the story sharpens into one harsh truth. Talent is no longer the main question. Consistency is. If the calm, lab-forged, hyper-focused version of Ryan actually steps into the ring, this fight becomes a precision takeover where speed, intent, and purpose collide in a high-stakes chess match of fists.
To be with three of the top trainers and not being able to train with neither of them, and now going back to his dad, I don't know, there's questions there, is that gonna work? Is he doing it because he doesn't want to work hard and he wants to call the shots and his dad's gonna do whatever he wants? We don't know. I don't know. If it was his dad, he would stay with him his whole career and never hired anybody else. Maybe when he hired Eddie or Goosen or Derek James, maybe it's because he knew his dad wasn't.
But if even a hint of Ryan's old inconsistency shows up, Barrios' structure, size, patience, and championship composure could slowly become a growing problem, more dangerous with every passing round. This fight isn't just about skill. It's about which mindset can hold firm under real pressure. That's why the tension feels so high, even days before the bell. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Today for all the latest breakdowns. Catch you in the next one.